think back over the last year and a half, and if there was any bit that particularly struck your fancy, or anyone that you want to hear again, or one you want to tape for posterity, feel free to dial that thing. Somebody reach back for an oldie but a goodie. The time that I was beamed up in a spaceship. I was walking along this country road. I just had a big meal, and I thought an evening's walk in the country might do me some good. So as I tried to walk off the effects of them chili dogs and smoke a Camel contemplatively, I saw this green light kind of hovered above the trees, and these weird noises coming from it. I thought to myself, my God. Well, bathed in the eerie glow, I approached, and sure enough, a door opened up, and I was beckoned toward that door. I looked at my watch, and the hands were going around and around and around, and I was pulled inside. And inside were these space creatures. They obviously had me in some kind of force field, and they laid me down on a table. And a woman, at least I thought it was a woman, came toward me. I said, what am I doing here? And she looked at me and said, I have traveled light years to experience true Habatuki. I said, but obviously there are creatures you reproduce. You've been around for eons longer than we have. Why do you have to travel light years to come to planet Earth, a backward country, to get a beer can balanced on your head? She said, don't you see? Look at the men in my country. And I looked around, and there they were. Big, green heads, bald, spindly little arms. Obviously their whole body was concentrated in cranial matter. She looked, she said, yes, we can reproduce, but barely. These men are intelligent. They've mastered all kinds of travel in energy, perpetual motion, and light. But they haven't mastered the art of Habudogi. Look at them. Look at these creatures. And they all blinked their one eye and turned back to their computers. I'm sure if they could have blushed, they would have. She said, I have traveled here because just once I want to journey back in time doing Habudogi with Habudogi. I want to be treated like a woman. I want to feel real feeling. I want to know true joy. And so I have brought you here to Habudogi with me. And I thought to myself, my God. She didn't look too bad. And I had Habudogi with some stranger things in my time. So I said, all right, if I must, bring it on, Mama, bring it on. And sure enough, there, on a deserted country road, in that spaceship, while computers buzzed and hummed and lights flashed, I took her. Hungrily. And then in the aftermath, before I could even get my Camel lit, started up the force field again. I felt so cheap, so tawdry, so used, so abandoned. And I was placed back on the same road. And I watched as the spaceship lifted up from the trees and took off. Well, I didn't think anything about it. Until 9 months later, I was sitting in my room, reading, when suddenly the doorbell rang. Imagine my shock and horror when I opened the door, and there was a little man there who said,
Hi, Daddy, how are you?
My God, who are you?
I'm your son, Daddy. Remember, you Habatukatan with Mama on that country road a while back, and now here I am to claim my rightful place in your life. Let's play, Daddy. What do you say?
I'm not sure I really want to. Oh, my God. No. How will I explain this to Estelle? All right, we'll play.
Oh, boy.
How'd you like to meet some friends you can play with? Maybe some basketball?
Yay, I've heard about basketball. It should be fun.
Well, you just walk into that room right over there and say you're ready to play, okay?
Okay, here I go. Bye, Daddy. Hi, everybody. I'm ready to play.
I'm happy to see you again.
Oh, no, it's the clown
happy 'cause you are my friend. Oh, I haven't seen you for a long, long time. Happy that you're doing fine. I'm happy to see you again. Happy 'cause you are my friend. I haven't seen you in a long, long time. Happy to see you again.
Happiness is seeing a friend, seeing a friend again.
Can I watch Mr. Rogers now?
You know I'm